What's going on there, guys? We're back with another one. And once again, the football world has descended on Boulder, Colorado. But this time, it was for Colorado's Pro Day. And there's been so much conversation around Shedeur Sanders. Obviously, we've seen Shiloh run his 40 time. And Coach Prime promised him if he could get a 4.4, he would get a brand new vehicle. I think he finished with a 4.56 and a 4.52. So he didn't quite make that time, that was a part of the agreement. But we're seeing so many people participate in the day. People were asking, was Travis going to participate? But he absolutely did. And, was running routes for Shedeur and showing off his routes. They have many drawing comparisons with, or have him getting compared to Justin Jefferson, and that's a high mark, high praise, and people still kind of want to know what Travis is going to be drafted for. Where is he going to be played at primarily at the next level? And after seeing some of these routes we're going to look at, maybe he plays offense more. Who knows? But let's check out these clips, guys.
No, he's smiling more than he's breathing. Like all he wants to do is run another deep
Six
route.
moves.
Like it's unbelievable.
The feet, deep over. He's good. One thing I would say is when he was sitting down, he put his hands backwards, which to indicate to the defender that he was going to break down. So I need him to keep both his hands moving. But he'll learn that as he hones in on his craft more and more in the league, he'll be fine. That's why he most likely will have to play one position primarily so he can master his craft. Because you never want to be a jack of all trades and a master of none. They don't pay masters of none. They pay craftsmen.
He and Travis Hunter, to me, are the most bankable two young men in this draft. What could surprise you? Shedeur has given you 4 years of nothing but consistency with some of the dysfunctional situations that I may say that we placed him in, but he still exceeded all expectations. I think he holds the record for completion percentage in college football, right? He's that guy. And Travis Hunter, it ain't nobody like him.
No.
We could search far in there. You're not going to find anything like him. So if you talk about consistency of two guys that I don't care what happens on that field or in life, you know what they're going to do. But we're built for this, man. He's been raised for this. When he gets on the next stage, he's not going to faint and melt up under scrutiny, on opposition and pressure. He's a Sanders, dog. He's built for this. Like, we've gone through this, and he knows the trials and tribulations that he has to get through and get by. Travis as well.
Look, I think I agree with everything Sam said in terms of the strengths of Shedeur Sanders. He is smart. He knows how to play the position. I think where it gets really tricky is, like, you're talking about rarefied air when you're talking about drafting a guy at the top of the draft. And look, he just is not as physically talented as you would like to see. I mean, it sounds crazy considering he's Deion Sanders' son, but, like, that's just the case. And so, look, my comp on Shedeur Sanders has kind of been in that, like, Andy Dalton range. People have compared him to Kirk Cousins. Look, those are compliments. Both of those guys have thrown for over 250 touchdowns through their NFL career. Both of those guys have led teams to the playoffs. But when you're talking about the top half of round one, Look, again, you're looking for elite traits, and he just doesn't have those.
Yeah, so guys, I kind of wanted to show that because that's one of the last things that was said. Kind of putting some limitations on Shedeur as a prospect. Shedeur wanted to come out and show that he can go downfield. That's one of the things people been saying. He don't have elite this, elite that, and Coach Prime said, he feels really, really good about the Cleveland Browns taking either Travis or Shedeur after the conversations they had on today. So it looks like the right people are impressed with Shedeur Sanders. And that's what you always want. You don't want to try to impress everybody. You want to impress the right people. And the Browns was very well represented there, believing both of those guys and their abilities. It's just going to be about, which direction they want to go in because Travis is very special, can play on both sides of the ball. When I look at Travis Hunter, I'm wondering where he's going to play at. He looks very, very good as a receiver, but he can play both sides of the ball. You can have some packages for him. Um, they said, he's gonna get a lot of money either way. And so when I'm looking at Travis, I'm very impressed with those routes that he ran today. Just so explosive and athletic, but you know, he could be man. They're comparing him to Justin Jefferson already. That's big time. Shedeur, I just believe in Shedeur. I don't. You can break down tape however you want and make anybody look any kind of way that you want to make them look. But it looks like he just has the it factor. Um, I'm glad he showed off his deep ball today, how effortless it comes out, too. Um, that was a point of emphasis for him on today. People been saying he's brash and how he interacted with certain people in the interview process. Coach Prime found out who that guy was, and then basically told the coach that he needs to do something about that because these words you can't just put them out in air and expect them not to have any effect on anyone. They can absolutely hurt your draft stock. So Coach Prime's like, no, man, look, this needs to be dealt with accordingly. And so it was good to see when you come out at these pro days at your school, you can't dispel everything, um, and you can't prove everything, right? But you can show like, okay, you having this conversation about me. Let's have a different one because now I'm showing you my skill set. You get a closer look at it, um, and you really just get to see how cool, calm, and collected he is, and some of the physical attributes maybe you were not as high on. You may say, "Oh man, he, in person, he do this a little better than I thought on tape." And you can leave a different memory in someone's mind based off how you perform at these pro days. And so I think Shedeur coming out and doing that today, man, I was thoroughly blown away. I was impressed um, because we know what he can do in the game, but they were trying to limit him. And some of the things that they said he couldn't do, he came out and did it relatively easy on today. And I think that'll go a long way for him, guys. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section, though. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time. Peace.